The girl knew very well that someone was standing behind her while she was shaking the dice. That person was helping her opponent secretly peek at the number she rolled, yet she deliberately opened her dice cup anyway, exposing her roll right in front of her enemy. Watching her opponent grow even more smug, the girl realized that her numbers had already been passed to the opponent by the person behind her. But she felt no fear at all, because everything was part of her plan. And the reason she did all of this goes back to what happened a month earlier. The girl had just graduated from college. When she returned home, she witnessed her father jumping from a building. She tried to rush forward to stop him, but her father seemed to have lost all hope and leapt down without the slightest hesitation. The girl rushed her father to the hospital, only to be told that he had already died. And the only thing she learned was that her father's death was connected to a bar owner and to a gambling match. To uncover the truth behind her father's death, the girl found herself a mentor. He was the top gambling master of the previous generation. With her natural talent for gambling, she became the fastest student her teacher had ever trained. But before leaving, she swore to her mentor that she would never use her skills to gamble for profit. She said she would use what she had learned to expose all injustice. And the first thing she intended to do was to avenge her father. So, on the very first day after leaving her mentor, the girl took the only $2 million she had left and headed straight to the bar where her father had gambled. Looking at the lively scene inside, the girl was like a lamb walking into a pack of wolves. When the bar owner saw her, he immediately tried to kick her out. It wasn't until he saw the money she placed on the table that he finally changed his mind. Upon learning that the girl wanted to gamble with him, the owner couldn't help but chuckle. He thought she must be joking, but the girl seriously told him that the only reason she came here was to gamble with him. Seeing how determined she was, the owner immediately agreed. He said that as long as she could beat him today, she could have as much money as she wanted. What he didn't expect, however, was that the girl didn't care about money at all. When he heard that she wanted to know the truth behind someone's death, the owner's eyes widened in shock. But his confidence in his gambling skills still made him accept her request. He then asked her what they would gamble on. When he saw the girl pick up a dice cup nearby, the owner couldn't help but laugh again, because dice games were exactly what he was best at. The match between the two began quickly. The owner immediately grabbed his dice cup and shook it rapidly in the air. The moment he slammed the cup onto the table, even the girl couldn't help but be impressed. The owner's skills were decent, but compared to hers, they were nowhere near enough to make him her equal. Completely unaware of the situation, the owner looked at the 5 ones he had rolled and felt a surge of excitement, because he believed this result meant he had already won. So he immediately urged the girl to roll her dice. Seeing this, the girl deliberately acted clumsy as she picked up the dice cup and shook it. She even intentionally let the dice spill out. Watching the owner mock her non-stop, the girl didn't mind at all, because the more excited he got, the less cautious he became. The girl continued shaking the dice in her hand. The moment she placed the cup on the table, the real game finally began. Seeing that the girl had finally stopped, the owner quickly sat back down and subtly signaled to one of his men. Receiving the signal, the henchman casually stood up and moved behind the girl, waiting for a chance to peek at her dice. What they didn't know was that every secret move they made was already anticipated by the girl. Once the henchman was in position, the owner immediately said the girl could check her dice first and announce her guess. After hearing this, the girl immediately pretended she was about to open the dice cup, but just as everyone was holding their breath in anticipation, she suddenly stopped. Instead, she directly announced her guess. She claimed there were definitely 4 ones inside. Seeing this, the owner instantly felt a wave of irritation. He knew her guess was wrong, but in order to secure the win, he still wanted to see her actual dice. So he urged her once again to open the cup, only to be refused by the girl. Seeing her firm stance, the owner immediately declared that his guess was 5 ones. What he didn't expect, however, was that the girl casually changed her guess as well, flatly stating that there were 6 ones inside. This outcome left the owner frozen in shock, but he didn't dare to keep raising the number. He was afraid he might lose the game, so once again, he pressed the girl to open the cup. Realizing she had already gotten what she wanted, the girl immediately agreed to his request. She then opened her dice cup to check the result. When she heard that the owner guessed 10 ones, the girl knew that her numbers had already been passed on by the person behind her, but she didn't care about that outcome at all. She simply raised her call to 11 ones. After hearing this, the owner was left completely stunned. He couldn't believe there were only 10 dice on the table, yet the girl dared to call 11 ones. Her absolute confidence pushed the owner into madness, so he began raising the stakes. He even pawned his car for cash, and declared that if the girl lost, she would become his mistress. Hearing the girl agree, the owner immediately demanded that she open the dice cup, but when everyone saw the dice inside the cup, they were all left standing there in utter shock.